everybody, I don't usually come to you like this, but I'm not usually in this predicament. I probably look like crap right now, sorry, I just came out of the shower and it's late at night, and I've been working really hard today. So, very short version for those of you not interested in the technical details is something happened with my computer. It is not turning on properly now. And so, I've been doing a video a day minimum for 8 years now. Don't want to break that streak. So this is a video today that I'm having a friend edit so that you can have something today. And this is being recorded the night before it's going up. So this will count for today's video unless I can get something else for you. Hopefully, I'm getting the computer repaired as you're seeing this. And hopefully it'll be back home sometime today so that I could maybe do a stream for you or something. I hate that I missed the Pokemon, the live Pokemon challenge stream, what will be yesterday for you. I can't make any promises though. I always keep you guys up to date on Twitter, linked in the description, that whole thing. So I'm going to try and get the thing fixed, but I'll have to be taking it into a shop. So it'll be based on their schedule when they can get it fixed. As for anyone who cares about the technical stuff, I was installing a new CPU cooler, which I know you probably immediately think, well, how could you break your computer doing that? I don't know. That's the thing is, I built my computer. I've been putting new parts in it over the course of almost a decade. And so usually I don't run into a problem that I can't at least identify. But this one, I couldn't identify, and even after Googling all around and asking you guys on Twitter, people had some general ideas, but it was all stuff that I either tried or I then tried, and it didn't fix it. It's your typical problem of the lights turn on a motherboard, the fans spin up, it does that for like 5 seconds, the motherboard never gives its beep that it gives to let you know that it got to the BIOS, and then it just flicks the power off and turns it back on, and it loops that. It's a cycle. Usually that means RAM is bad. Doesn't seem like it's that. I tried the different slots and stuff like you're supposed to. Power supply is bad. Probably not, because mine's only like a half a year old, and it'd be weird if it was working in the morning. I put in a new CPU cooler, and all of a sudden it doesn't work. I even tried putting the old one back in, by the way, that didn't fix it. So probably not that, but not impossible. Could be that the CPU's bad. That's almost impossible. It was working this morning, and I even tried putting the old CPU in that's less than a week old. Like, it's the one I was using less than a week ago is what I mean to say. Same issue, so it's probably not that. Or motherboard. The motherboard has given me issues in the past, mostly because I think one of the SATA ports on it might be faulty, but I never needed that last SATA port, so it was never really that big a deal. But, maybe that just says something about the quality of it. Or maybe when I was taking the processor out of the little chip slot thing to clean it off of its old thermal paste so I could reapply some new thermal paste. Maybe I bent a pin in the chip socket. Can't rule that out. Someone suggested that, and I did take a look at it, but honestly, even with my glasses on, my vision's not good enough to tell. They're very small. I don't have any kind of magnifying glass to look at that in greater detail. So, unlikely. I don't think I've ever done that before, but I'm not going to say that's impossible. In that case, and in pretty much any case I can see, I might end up needing a new motherboard, but that's not actually all that expensive. I talked about it a little bit on Twitter, but today I've kind of been in panic mode, mostly because I'm ahead of schedule and all of a sudden I might not be because of, missing out on this. Basically, it's going to be 2 days. If it gets fixed tomorrow, I'll have lost basically 2 days of progress. And that actually does really put me behind, which means that just means I'm going to have to work like crazy to catch up. But I guess that's okay, as long as it works in the end. But, up until a few months ago, I never really had money, like disposable income kind of money. I spent the last 5 years in debt. And so it's strange to me because usually when I would have a computer trouble that I can't solve at home just by like, oh, I you know, I thought the RAM was all the way down, it didn't quite click, I fixed it, you know, that's free. That's I didn't plug something in right. This looks like it might actually be a damaged piece, and so I need to replace it. Whenever there was a piece I had to replace in the past, that's very, very stressful because I can't work for a little bit until I do replace it. It costs money, and in most of the cases, it was a lot of money, and I couldn't really afford it, and I would go farther into debt as a result. But you know, I have to keep paying the bills the best that I could. Because, you know, I have to have my computer working to be able to do my work. Now that I make better money because of you guys watching the Pokemon challenges, the whole channel, obviously, but most of you guys coming in from the Pokemon challenges, the amount of money this is probably going to cost to fix will be trivial. If I need a new motherboard, that's pretty cheap. If the power supply really did go bad, then that's even cheaper by a lot. If I brought it to them and they said motherboard and the processor and the RAM and the power supply all died in unison, they're all faulty, we need to replace all of them, I can afford that. It would suck, but I can afford that just fine. There'd be like no debt or any kind of issue like that. So you'd think that would put my mind at ease. But my body is so used to, for so many years, when something like this happens and I need to spend a large amount of money to fix it, that's very stressful because I really value financial stability. You know, if Fatima's car were to break and we would have to spend a lot of money on fixing it, that's a very stressful thing. When Fatima got a new job, way back when we lived in Mississauga, like 4 years ago, 3 years ago? About 3 years ago, when she got a new job, was being told every day she was doing awesome at it and things were looking up, and then a week in, they just randomly release her and don't really tell her why. And there was a month where she didn't work before she was able to find another job, and that job was getting back with Starbucks. And that's worked out with her well in the long run now that she's the manager of her own store, but that is really what hammered home the depth of the debt. The debt that, by the way, we just paid off, I think less than a full week ago. I got another YouTube paycheck. It was a lot of money. I sent like the remaining 8,000 Canadian that was on the debt. I sent that to Fatima. She dumped it right on the debt. Debt's gone. We're in the black, I think it's called. In the red is in debt, in the black is positive. We have positive amount of money now, which is incredibly good news. You know, we are starting savings and stuff. Sorry, battery died. God, I'm bad with cameras. Battery died, I'm back. I think I was just saying that, you know, now we have money, now we have savings, that's awesome. And so the amount of money this is probably going to be to fix is quite trivial. But my body doesn't seem to understand that. My body is so used to every time this kind of thing happens, it's incredibly stressful, and I wouldn't be able to afford it, and I would go farther in debt and stuff like that. And so I've been very, very stressed today. I'm pretty overwhelmingly stressed right now, to the point that I am not hungry right now. It is now 9:30 p.m., and all I've eaten today is a few crackers. I had some crackers this morning. I'm still not hungry, but I'm going to try and force myself to eat something because I didn't even realize how long it was between eating. Just been drinking a lot of water because my mouth has been getting very dry. That's kind of my stress response, though, is not eating for long periods of time because food just does not even register to my brain. There's a task that needs to be done, so I need to get it done, you know? So I can't fix it right now, obviously. I think it's pretty clear that a part is faulty or broken, and so I'm going to need to take it into a shop. They'll be able to easily figure out what it is, and then we can replace it. I should be back and up and running tomorrow if I can find a repair shop that is free enough to just deal with it on the spot, which I hope. And who knows, maybe by the time this goes up, I'll already be back in action. You can check on my Twitter to see that. But if not, I will find ways to get myself occupied. I've got a laptop right here, so I'm going to be on Discord, and I'm going to be on Twitter, and stuff like that. And I'm going to try and see what little work I can get done without having my main computer functional. Thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.